Many longtime Marvel fans had concerns with the upcoming Fantastic Four that's set to release next month because there was rumors going around for years at this point that the movie was basically going to be shoehorning in a modern feminist agenda, and to cap it off, have Sue Storm be the leader of the Fantastic Four, and Reed Richards was basically going to play second fiddle to her. As you can see from this article I have pulled up right here from Bounding Into Comics, dated September 29, 2023, these rumors have been going on for some time, but when we got the first trailer for it, it was pretty well received. You can see it has 487,000 likes to 50,000 dislikes. And while there was some elements of that, or at least there was some things in the trailer that suggest that's the direction that they're going with this, including having a female Silver Surfer, that kind of lends credibility to the idea that they're wanting this to be a more female-centric type of movie. It's still, there was nothing in it that was so egregious to confirm it. It was basically just still rumor and speculation at this point. But now it looks like that's not the case, because Pedro Pascal came out and basically said, like, yeah, I'm going to be submissive to the women in the movie. And that's actually a good thing, because Sue Storm's going to be the leader of the Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal says he loves being led by powerful women, as Sue Storm takes the lead in Marvel's Fantastic Four. So yeah, I mean, this isn't rumors at this point. He's basically coming out and saying it. And when he was cast as Reed Richards, a lot of people were wondering, like, why Pedro Pascal? He doesn't seem to fit the role. He doesn't even look right for the character. But some people were even saying, like, well, maybe it's because they were going to have a submissive Reed Richards in the movie, and they thought Pedro Pascal was perfect casting for that type of role. Marvel's The Fantastic Four First Steps isn't just reimagining its team dynamics, it may also be a reflection of its lead actor's real-world mindset. Pedro Pascal, who plays Reed Richards in the upcoming MCU reboot, is no stranger to playing second banana to powerful women. He praised his co-star Vanessa Kirby in a recent Collider interview, with comments that have already sparked widespread discussion. And this is what he said here. And yes, this is really what he says. I love being led in a way, Pascal said when asked about working opposite Kirby. What you may identify as generosity, for me, it just isn't. I'm only inspired by, I guess, just powerful women who have been the thing that has gotten me through being alive. Okay, I don't really know a whole lot about his background. Maybe he was raised by a single mother or something like that, or maybe there was women in his life that were really inspirational to him. And if that's the case, okay, good on him. I have no issue with that. I know there's a lot of people who have respect for women because they were raised by their mothers or something like that. And if that's the case, awesome. And I mean, those women who can do that sort of thing, I mean, good on them. That's not an easy task. But at the same time, there's a difference between a grown man saying that they want to be led by strong women versus a grown man understanding what a good woman is and trying to actually lead one like that, as opposed to just being submissive to them. So to have the opportunity to stand by one, to learn from one, just a partner, it's a partnership, it's male and female, but it's also just a kind of transcendent sort of partnership in the works and in the characters. I'm wondering if he even understands what the difference is between a male and a female, if he could actually define them without using the term male and female within the definition. And so I don't really know what the F I'm going to do without you, Vanessa, honestly. Kirby herself responded in kind, calling Pascal the most supportive male actor she's worked with. Now, one of the things about the way Pedro Pascal presents himself publicly is it reminds me of a lot of those male feminist types who come to find out they're just like a rapist in disguise, or they're just trying to get close to women so they can let their guard down or whatever. I mean, you know the types. I mean, we hear about them all the time. I'm not making any accusations towards Pedro Pascal. I'm just saying that that's kind of the vibe he gives me. But at the same time, I don't think he's actually trying to do these sort of things or trying to get too close to women, because I don't really think he's interested in women, if I'm being completely honest. I've never had a male actor as a counterpart who's been so utterly equal and supportive of the relationships, but also the female characters opposite him. She said, I just feel so grateful every day to have an actor like Pedro who is so generous. The conversation adds fuel to the already blazing fire surrounding Marvel's creative direction with First Steps. Producer Grant Curtis recently stated that Sue Storm, not Reed Richards, is the true center of the Fantastic Four. Now, mind you, just because he's saying she's the center of the Fantastic Four doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be the leader of the Fantastic Four. But from what Pedro Pascal is saying, that's kind of sounds like that's what the direction they're doing, because the producer trying to like be a little bit ambiguous with it, saying that she's the center of the team and not necessarily the leader of the team. It's almost as if like he understands like saying that she's the leader of the team is not good optics, so they're trying to shift things. Or maybe she actually isn't the leader of the team after all, and Pedro Pascal is just, I don't know what he's saying, but he's just not speaking truthfully in this interview. If you do go back through the comics, you realize that Sue Storm is arguably the leader of the Fantastic Four, because what Sue Storm, everything falls apart, because without Sue Storm, everything falls apart. Curtis told Collider. Kirby herself emphasized that Sue won't be portrayed as a boss bee or a caricature, but rather with a genuine feminine soulfulness. Now, I don't mind that characterization right there, and saying that things fall apart without her, kind of like in a household, the husband is usually the leader of the household in a traditional relationship, and the wife is kind of like the soul of the household. If that's kind of the dynamic that they're actually going to take with this, and saying like, even though the father is the leader of the household, the mother is kind of like the head of the house within the home itself. If that's what they're doing with this, then I really don't have a problem with that. And I think it'd be kind of brave of them if they're going to show like a more traditional relationship as opposed to what modern Hollywood is trying to do with this sort of thing. It's just what some of the cast members on it are saying isn't really doing it any justice. Like I said, with Pedro Pascal, with the type of terms he's using in describing the relationship between the characters, I don't think it's really the best way of going about it, or at least it's not selling it to a public who might be a little bit weary of watching a movie or supporting a movie that's overtly pushing a political agenda that we've found time and time again has basically just been divisive. And what I'm talking about is a woke political agenda. And I'm not saying having a strong female character automatically makes something woke. I mean, there's a lot of movies that I love that have strong female characters. What I'm saying is when a political agenda or pushing a political agenda takes priority over everything else, well, then that's when you have an issue. And if they are going to try to shift up the storyline and have Sue Storm be the lead character in the Fantastic Four in order to try to push some modern day feminist agenda, well, then obviously that would be a bad move on their part. And I think it would ultimately hurt them at the box office if they did try to go about things in that way. Director Matt Shockman has also noted that Sue will be the head of the Future Foundation in the film. He described the pair's dynamic as an idealistic society, adding, "If he is the most scientifically intelligent person, then she is the most emotionally intelligent person on the planet." For Pascal, this sort of character arrangement is far from new. Fans of The Mandalorian remember the shift in season 3 when the focus largely moved from Pascal's Din Djarin to Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing entirely. I mean, even though it was Pedro Pascal in it, maybe he's just kind of typecasted as a submissive male character. Like I said, that's why people were thinking why they hired him for the role to begin with. But still, I think this isn't necessarily confirming with 100% certainty that that's the direction that they're going with, because on the one hand, you could be taking it down that direction where it's basically just having a modern feminist Fantastic Four with Sue Storm being the leader of everything. And like I said before, even the trailers hinted that that's the direction they're taking it. Or they could actually be going in a more traditional relationship between the characters. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think it's kind of funny that they're saying that this is kind of in line with how Sue Storm was in the original comic books. And if that's the case, then they probably should just adapt the original comic books as faithfully as possible, because if they're saying that that's the dynamic between Sue and Reed within those comic books, well, then they should be able to get across what they're trying to get across. But if they're changing that in order to try to emphasize something or to try to put their own interpretation of it within the movie itself, well, then all that's going to do is just upset longtime fans of the Fantastic Four who want them to adapt it properly as opposed to putting their own personal political agenda within this movie. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see when this comes out what it's actually going to be like. There's a lot of stiff competition, so unless this movie is just blowing audiences away, it's going to have a tough time making a profit with the budget that I don't know what it has right now, but given it a Marvel property, I'm assuming it's pretty substantial. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with this movie and whether or not it'll be successful. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you think it sounds like it's going to be more of a feminist type Fantastic Four, or do you think that it could just be more like the traditional relationship between the characters that we saw in the comic books? And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.